And we've got one great show ahead of you.
I love it when I can stump the chooch.
Oh, well, that's a tough one, Frank.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Great Lakes Smoke Show. Take it away, Ron.
Smoke Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, that was a fast week, but for us, it was even faster for Kyle and I. We did a special event today at Arlington Tyson Cigar, and here we are right back with a special guest this evening. We can't wait to get him on, but thank you, folks. Before we get started, a little reminder. Please get your watch party going on. Send a share out to everybody you know. Let's get our special guest tonight out there to all 53 countries around the world right now. We want everyone to witness and hear from an ambassador, for the man that knows quite a bit of this industry. We're going to get back to it. We're going to keep you in suspense. I know we've been advertising him all week, but hold on a little bit longer, folks. You will learn quite a bit of a special individual that really loves and has a passion of the leaf. For all you newbies out there, I'm RnA Pecorini. You got my brother Bob Pecorini down there.
How you doing, folks?
You got my cousin, the Chooch Master himself, Frank Minutillo, hanging in there, taking care of the Florida computers. Tonight,
Florida computers.
Florida computers.
Hey, Sean, just so you didn't know, Florida computers are at we are at the highest tech possible. So this is what we call Ronnie-isms. And Ronnie will say things that he really doesn't understand, but he'll just throw it out there. So this is Ronnie-ism number one.
Alrighty.
Florida computers.
It's state-owned, right?
State-owned by the state.
The
So
Florida computers. And yes, unfortunately now Kathy is the I guess Ronnie-ism computer person back on the East Coast. Listening
She's compiling
every
a
single
whole
mistake I make. So
She's
I'm going to go for
them
lucky 7 tonight, Kathy. That's okay with you?
Those are
Bruce,
be the
don't worry
bloopers.
about it. But we do have a missing man, and Kyle, and he runs the board usually all the time. And I'm going to do the best to figure this one out. But Frank is going to be running it down there and get things rolling. So again, folks, pay attention. And I always like to say, get your pen and paper for information that you want to jot down right away from our special guest. If you have any questions for us, you can always email us at greatlakesmokeshow@aol.com, or you can send us a Facebook private messenger. Anything we can do to help and answer any of your questions. Also, at 8:15, we're going to open up the Facebook page line for you guys to ask our special guest tonight any questions that you would like to know. So keep track of that. So if you're listening to the show, he might be answering, so don't let him answer twice, all right? Keep it simple, and he will definitely do his best for you. In the meantime, Frank, how about getting our sponsors out of the way, and let's get
out
that
of the
rolling.
way. Oh, let's just toss our sponsors to the side, and we'll get them out of the way. Run that as Ronnie-ism number 2. Sean,
Alrighty.
mark that one down.
Hey.
Number 2, we just kicked the sponsors to the curb,
Sure.
but we'll put them up.
Oh,
Sean,
man.
you know, these two guys, they actually blood related. It's the worst thing in the world.
You can't tell we're related at all, Sean. Look at these 3 mugs.
No,
We are really made for radio, but with
the
podcasting,
radio kicked us off.
Go to the sponsors and I'll introduce our special guest. It's unbelievable.
On a small farm nestled along a river in southern Honduras grows an estate-grown tobacco so exceptional. Stop, please. No moss. This is Dan Blunt for Alec Bradley Cigars. Some copywriter handed this to me expecting me to read it. Good Lord. Do me a favor. Pick up an Alec Bradley cigar. Light it up. Spend an hour with it. You'll be glad you did. We'll talk again real soon.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. Experience the magic of Rockefeller Cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller Cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines: the Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, the Art of Magic. Troianiello Cigars, created by cigar enthusiast Michael Troianiello of Scranton, PA, prides itself in offering top-notch cigars not only to the Pennsylvania market, but worldwide. Troianiello Cigars is a proud maker of premium hand-rolled cigars, with a wide range of premium cigars, flavored cigars, and accessories. You're sure to find what you're looking for.
And we're back. All right. Thank you very much, Frank. Sean Williams, how are you this evening? The Cohiba ambassador himself. Thank you very much for coming on board tonight.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks for having me.
Good, good. I know you had a special day today and you were running around crazy, but we do appreciate your time, and we are looking forward to the knowledge and hear about your passion and your story about the leaf and how you got involved.
All right. Well, I'm ready.
Then the show is yours.
That's it. We'll be back in about 45
We'll see you in
minutes.
about an hour.
See you, man.
No, that's not how we do it, Sean. Don't let Ronnie try to hide behind his beard.
Oh, now it's
Sean,
me. Now it's me.
Sean, I know I have a ton of questions because, just getting to know your story by doing a little research, I'm really impressed with you just as a human, because what you've done in your lifetime is truly amazing, and it's something to be proud of. Talk to me a little bit about growing up in New Orleans, and it starts there, right?
Yeah, I mean, you never know, what things from your upbringing, what experiences, what challenges, whatever. You never know how anything is really going to affect you, whether it's vocationally, whether it's the interest you're involved in or your upbringing. So I got to say there's a couple of things that as I look back at it now as a 51-year-old man that I think really sort of play a part in my approach to this business. First, just the culture in New Orleans really sort of it's a lot of people think about New Orleans and they think Mardi Gras, they think Creole, they think the music and all that stuff comes together. But New Orleans is very, very Caribbean, and I didn't realize that until I became an adult and I would travel to other places. A lot revolves around food, music, family, passion. So I think a lot of those things are sort of a part of the fabric of the cigar industry. So certainly that kind of gave me an appreciation for what this journey would be like over the last decade and a half. And speaking of that journey, I mean, just kind of growing up with the way I did with my mom and uptown New Orleans and just some of the things that we experienced growing up there and as a kid and kind of watching my mom make her way and you take enough bumps in life, not a lot of things shake you, you know what I'm saying? So I was fortunate enough to take a few bumps early on. And with that being said, I mean, listen, man, I mean, I had, it's not like, we've all been, I would assume, to various countries where the leaves are grown and the cigar factories are. So we've seen, some much tougher conditions than probably any of us ever experienced growing up. So, no crying to tears, whatever. It certainly wasn't that. But just looking back at it, there's just things about my upbringing that I kind of think just if I hadn't done this, I certainly think that at least I was kind of prepared for it in a sense that this is a topsy-turvy business, man, and and I've been on this roller coaster now for a decade and a half. So I'm enjoying this ride right now. But,
That's right. That's right. So you were the youngest of
theme park,
you were the youngest of 4 boys, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And your mom was an entrepreneur. I mean, let's not forget that she was an entrepreneur as well. So you got that. I think that was inherent in just your upbringing, because she owned a bar. So that was really interesting getting a chance to see that. And you were 10 or 12 years old growing up and watching your mom.
I was younger than that, dude. She had a
Wow.
car. I was like 4, 5, 6,
Wow.
maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, she'd go to jail now, man. Like, I used to sit up at the bar, when she's prepping for the evening, and she's giving me like cream de banana liqueur, and it's like there's a baby in the bar,
She was teaching you your palates real early, so you know what you're up against.
Listen, and I never had a problem with alcohol. So maybe that's the trick. Like, I didn't really start drinking until I started smoking cigars. To be honest.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So
Now,
that was about what, 13, 14?
no, he started late. He started late, Bob.
He was in his late 30s, early 40s when he got into the industry.
35? Was I 35? I had my first cigar. I was 34 and a half. I had my first cigar in New Year's 2005. So I was 34 and a half.
Wow.
That's
Very
amazing.
late. That's
And what I found out to be really interesting was that you thought you would be a professional athlete, right? I mean, you were going down that path. I mean, you did get a scholarship. I mean, it's something to tout. You did get a scholarship for football.
Yeah, I played one of the greatest experiences ever, man. I got to play for Eddie Robinson, one of the greatest men that I've ever met. And oh wow, look at you guys, man! Wow.
No,
with swag ring and everything, baby. Look at that.
Of course.
Wow, where did you come from?
I mean, we don't fool around here at the Great Lakes Smoke Show. We do our research.
I hope G-Man Nation is watching this, man. This is awesome, man.
Make sure you're sharing this with everybody you know. This ain't just one regular show.
I mean, Eddie Robinson is a legend, and you had the pleasure of playing for him.
Wow.
I mean, I can't even imagine what that must have been like for you to be able to have that mentorship.
Man, you have no idea. I'm like, hold on, man. Like, wow, that was wow, man. You got me.
Take him over. That's all right. The smoke got in his eyes.
A little smoke,
Smoke got in his eyes.
I'm gonna get you.
One thing that I find out about whenever I research a little bit about folks that we have on the air, like we're big shots. We're not. As you can hear, I have my neighborhood dog that's Who Let the Dogs Out music. I wish I had it.
Right.
But it's truly amazing, your story, because here you are getting a football scholarship, and you were majoring in business, if I'm not mistaken, right? So having that early experience under Coach Robinson must have given you so much from everything. I mean, for perspective on life. So going through that.
Yeah. So what I learned early on. I mean, listen, I was afforded some opportunities that other people wouldn't have because I was 6'6", 250 something pounds. I was all prep. So I was afforded certain opportunities that other people may not have had, right? And you don't appreciate it when you're a 17-year-old kid. But one thing that struck me early on, I remember when I had dinner with Coach Rob. It was Bayou Classic. I guess that would have been 1988, just after Thanksgiving, 1988. I was recruited by a number of schools, local, nationwide. But when I sat down and had dinner with him, just something just kind of struck me. Just a sincerity, like a it's just different, man. Just in the way he sort of looked right through you. Like he is weird, man. He's this old black guy, but he had like these still gray blue eyes, man. They just kind of peered through, and he had just a genuine concern for people as men. Mm-hmm. And it's, listen, when you're going through it, it's he bugs the shit out of you, right? I mean, he's coming around every morning to wake you up for class. You hear the school bell coming out the hall, and here comes this old dude again, right? But I was smart enough to at least know that was kind of important, because I decided to go to Grambling, right? So you carry a lot of things with you, and one thing I always took with me is to stay coachable, right? And I remember when the assistants, the recruiting team, so to speak, who were assistant coaches, came to recruit me. I had good grades, thank goodness. Clearly, had the tape as far as being a good football player. But I remember, the stuff that they saw, on tape and on paper was one thing, but they would ask my coach, say, okay, we see all this, but is he coachable? And at the time, I'm thinking like, okay, well, clearly I'm coachable, right? Because I'm pretty good, but it's not that simple, right? Like, not everybody's coachable, and that's something that Coach Rob really ingrained in you. Like you there's a certain level of humility that you have to bring for me, that I took with him, that you take to everything, and a certain level of respect that you take to certain things. That he just, it was just part of his makeup and what he tried to instill in us. And even though we all bitched and moaned at that time, we're all, middle-aged men now, and we talk, and we're so appreciative of it now, because we're taking a lot of those things, especially for us, we didn't grow up with a father in the house. We're taking a lot of those things and hopefully imparting them into our kids, So yeah, man, it was very, very impactful. Appreciated more so as I got older than I did as an 18-year-old kid who didn't want to, be awakened at 6 o'clock in the morning and give him my school ID. So yeah.
Well, he had that father figure for most of the guys who didn't have a father at home, and the passion and the true careness that he had for his players. I don't think anybody would understand it except guys like you who played under him. To most, he's just another coach, and all the coaches care about is winning to maintain their jobs and all of that. That is unfortunately like 95%. All they care about is winning so they can keep their job. But he took it to a whole nother personal level. He brought it to family, and like you said, an 18-year-old can't quite understand that at the time. I mean, listen, how many teenagers really listen to their own parents in the first place? They got all the answers and everything. They have all the answers. Hey, don't bother us. But he really, he took a sincere interest in each of his players. And look at it now, how many years afterwards, the impact that he made on you. I can see the sincerity in how you are speaking of him. And there's so many others that he's coached, for the most part, must feel the same way like you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wonderful thing. It's like a fraternity, man. That you never, for me it's different. I mean, my life is just so sort of hectic. I don't get to, I haven't been to a Grambling homecoming in years. We had a couple years where they were play here in the Heritage Bowl, and luckily I was able to get there and see them. But I I don't get to see nearly as many games live and in person like a lot of my other brothers do who played. But it doesn't matter. We're still, we're still brothers, man.
You're all exactly. The alumni is strong. Like one of our listeners, Brooke Stark, just wrote, says the older that he gets, the smarter my parents were. There you go, Frank.
Dude, ain't that the truth, right?
Again, we're all smart Alex and think we know everything about the world. We don't need anybody to tell us what to do. And when you really just take a moment and sit back and wow, mom and dad.
It's pretty simple. I mean, somebody, you step out, you're getting ready to walk through this field. There's somebody that's walked through this field before to say, hey, these are where the landmines are. Go in this direction, do this, And teenagers typically says, no, I don't want to go that way. Oh, I'll go that way. It's like, you know where the landmines are. We walked through this field. Lo and behold, they walk through, blow off a toe. You know, it's like, listen, man. You know,
One has to learn.
Yes.
Whether it's easy or hard way, you got to learn.
And that's life, really. I mean, he taught you life lessons that you carry with you today, and you'll carry that forever. And so will your children because of that. And that's the beauty of having that mentorship. And it's so important in life. And you talk about that even when you got involved and started in this business, because, again, you didn't start smoking until 2005, which is, you were a late bloomer.
Wow.
Literally, you missed the whole smoking craze in the 90s.
I missed the boom, yeah. And I remember that. Like, everybody was having cigar parties at their house. Girls were smoking cigars. Guys, it's like, it was crazy. And I was like, I didn't get it. It missed me. So,
well, you were a jock, and most jocks, really, for the most part, weren't into that. They'd rather drink than smoke. You know, it was just a mindset back in the day. You know, and really heavy duty cigar smoking were, you know, early 90s, but with more drinking, because that was more, not say acceptable, but it just felt better that way. But,
it's like, I don't smoke anything, so I just didn't smoke. And it's just the weirdest thing. I mean, there's no way I could have pictured, you know, that I'd be sitting there talking to you guys, you know, at this point. Right? This has been the weirdest journey, dude. Like, it just nothing could have made me think that this is, you know, what I'd be doing. But I mean, I love it. You know, it's crazy.
Well, let's talk about it.
I have a question for you,
okay,
actually. How did you get from 2005 to just trying your first cigar to 2006, a year later, and all of a sudden you're like knee deep in the business, because you're like diving in, like we were talking before the show. Your daughter dives in the pool, now she's on the swim team. You actually dove into a business that you had no knowledge of, really, very little. And and you said, I think your quote was, what was it? Like, baptism by fire, I think was the quote that you used. But tell me a little bit about how you got into it and what started you down this path.
So you kind of touched on it. I had my first cigar, Zona Cruz, 2005. That was New Year's 2005. So I got back, and just like a lot of people, I got a Cigar Aficionado magazine, and I would read the reviews in the magazine and the descriptions of the cigars, and buy cigars based on that. First place I ever purchased cigars is Cigar Villa right here in Smyrna, Georgia, still owned by Jackie Brand. Shout out to Cigar Villa. I would buy the cigars, and I was in the mortgage business at the time. I had my own mortgage company. I dabbled in real estate a little bit. You know, built a couple of spec homes a year, 3, 4. So that's primarily what I did. And I had an office in my house, and I would be sitting in my office, you know, smoking cigars by myself, which kind of sucked. And I didn't know any, at least I didn't think I knew any cigar smokers. So I wanted to kind of get around other cigar people. So I had a buddy of mine who was in the same business with me. I was like, hey, let's start a cigar social group, and we can use it as like business networking, and hopefully start, you know, inviting people in that enjoy cigars. And that's how we started Atlanta Cigar Society. And that's how I got started, with, you know, doing different events, poker nights, wine tastings, just different things, right? But over time, my events became a little more popular. And that was sort of the impetus behind wanting to have a private label, really just for my events. I wasn't thinking, you know, start a cigar business and try to, you know, go nationwide with it. I was really just thinking kind of local, whatever, man. Dave Blanco is the person that kind of, you know, first sort of ushered me down to Nicaragua, so to speak. I met him in person at the Big Smoke in November of 2005, and we had talked on the phone leading up to a pretty big event, at least big for my standards, that I'd done here in Atlanta in 2005, called the Atlanta Smokeout. And you kind of call different companies and see if they want to pitch in cigars, whatever. And that's how he and I first connected on the phone. I was just calling, begging for cigars, and ended up having a conversation after Big Smoke and told him, I was kind of interested in doing a private label. And, what's it take, to do it? He's like, oh, well, we make everybody cigar. And he's saying we, meaning the Placencias, actually, not necessarily the Blanco.
Right.
But that got me to book a ticket and meet him in Nicaragua in January 2006. And,
Nice.
Fly down to Managua, drive up to Esteli, and the time I walked into the cathedral, the Placencias factory in Esteli, never been the same. Never been the same.
I bet. Well, you hooked up with a great guy. Dave Blanco is a friend of ours, one of our sponsors, and a man who certainly knows the industry quite well.
Oh, yeah, right.
And the connections, obviously, the Placencias are family to him, and as well as AJ Fernandez. They're a bunch of cousins all hanging out together.
Yeah.
And
even the Olivas.
What's that?
Even the Olivas, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, they're related to the Placencias.
They're all related. Somehow they all came from Cuba and spread their seeds all over the place.
Easy, Ronnie. This is a family show.
Oh, you're a dirty young man.
You know what I want to hear though? What was the moment that you decided though that you were going to put the leaf to your lips? Because you said until then you never wanted to smoke. What was that moment that you finally said, I'm going to try it? What was that?
So this is it was a New Year's cruise. Some buddies of mine, we had been friends since the 9th grade, and we hadn't seen each other collectively in a number of years. We said, let's all do a New Year's cruise, get together, let the wives, girlfriends meet each other, whatever. And I'm like, cool. So we all booked a cruise together. And my buddy Damon, he was the guy who was really into cigars at the time. We were hanging out. He's like, "Hey, let's go to the piano bar and have a cigar." I'm thinking, all right, whatever. I'll take one for the team. So we decided to go down to the bar and grab a cigar, and it really just at the insistence of my buddies that I was with at the time, because like I said, I wasn't really into cigars. But I lit the cigar up, man, and it was just really like. Hour into it, still enjoying the cigar, sipping on the brandy, talking to these guys I had known for, most of my life at the time. And it was really just kind of taken with the process, I guess, of smoking. So kind of understood.
True relaxation.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just kind of,
That was the moment of enlightenment.
Yeah.
Say, wow, man, I've been missing out on this for years.
And we are being enlightened. I know myself and Bob, we're having a Cohiba Nicaragua right
This
here.
is delicious.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is delicious, man.
This is a phenomenal smoke.
Wow.
Thank you.
And, you've got a lot to be proud of for what you've created there over at Cohiba. Obviously, it's a brand that's synonymous with luxury, right? I mean, that's Cohiba. If in one word, it's luxury.
It has a long reputation. I mean, this goes back to people saying, well, Castro, this was a cigar made for Castro. So
right. And obviously there's all of that tie, but it has nothing, this company has nothing to do with that company.
No,
So
of course not.
But
the name, it's the name that carries over, the mystique,
exactly.
it's the whole,
exactly.
Yeah.
So after your experience with Dave, you're in the industry now. You're around it. You're surrounded. You're enjoying it. Where did that take you?
Really. Too many places to name. Like it was
a roller coaster ride. Yeah,
man. So and I tell guys hitting up all the time. Oh, I'm interested in doing a cigar and go apply. And I try to talk people out of it. Like, don't do it. Just put your money in a CD or whatever. Or if you insist on starting a cigar company, just put your money in a metal trash can and set it on fire, right? Because you're gonna listen,
not easy.
It is not easy. You're gonna burn through a lot of resources. You have to have a very, very long tail, which I didn't have, but I didn't know what to expect. And initially, again, I was really kind of thinking more local, and I got on shelves here with a number of shops here locally. And I wasn't making any money in cigars. Didn't even have my margins and packaging right. It was just kind of a local thing. There was a shop out in Conyers, Georgia, which is probably from my house to where the shop was is maybe just under an hour heading east on I-20. And a guy on the shop, his name was Lemmer. And he carried my cigars there and did well. I mean, for a brand my size. And it turns out he had a cousin that had a shop in DC called TG Cigar. And if you go to TG Cigar now, it's a cigar bar, has a separate sort of carriage house out back, a beautiful courtyard, really big to do, relatively speaking. Well,
expanded.
Before it was just like it was the size of a small dry cleaner almost, as far as just the front area. No walk-in humidor cabinets, a lot of chots, really, really small. But I didn't know any of that. He said, hey, I told my cousin in DC about these cigars, and she's interested in getting some samples and so forth. So, all right, I sent her samples, and she liked the cigars, or at least people there liked the cigars. So she's like, oh, we'll take them in. Can you come up and do an event? I had never really done an event. I was thinking, all right, well, I'll go to DC. I like DC. So I go up to DC to do the event to introduce my cigars to her clientele. But while I'm there, I was like, I'll walk around and while I'm ride around and drop some samples off at other shops while I'm here. And one of the shops that I stopped in at the time was Georgetown Tobacco. And I didn't know anything about Georgetown Tobacco. I really should have, because David Berger, the owner at the time, was the president of what was called the RTDA. Now it's the IPCPR, now it's PCA, but it's the RTDA. So he was a pretty big deal. And Georgetown Tobacco was a well-esteemed shop in the industry. And he called me, the day I got back. I had a message from him that he liked my Maduro, give him a call. So I called him, and they ended up taking the Maduro, taking the line based on the Maduro. And he had me come up 2 or 3 years in a row and do his anniversary, which was a big deal. So that was kind of like my first sort of, testing the waters outside of the Atlanta market. And it was with a really solid shop. So that gave me a little confidence, and that led to other shops and so forth. And I did my first convention in 2007 in Houston, and that opened up. So I was just kind of not catching up with it, because it's not like it was lightning in a bottle, but just kind of figuring it out as I went. And things just started to kind of do its own thing, I definitely would have been served better if I had taken my time to really understand the nuts and bolts of the business before, to really put myself in a position to be more successful from a fiscal standpoint early on, right? But the cigars are doing pretty good, right? And started getting a couple of good ratings. I think the first respectable rating I got, as far as in a publication, was Smoke Magazine. I got like a 90 or 91.
Nice.
Got a 91 in Cigar Snob, which Eric started Cigar Snob like the same time that I started my cigar line. So we kind of grew up together. Then I got a Best Buy, a 91 in the Best Buy tag in Cigar Journal from a Black label. A few years later, I put out League of Miami. First time Willie Herrera and I worked together at Titan Bronze, and it was up for Best Brand USA. So I was at like the Cigar Journey Awards show. So there's like these little things that kind of happened, man, that kept giving you giving me confidence. Like, okay, well, this could be something. This could be something. And yeah, man, I don't know, just kind of meandered my way along for a while, man, and took the victories when I got them, and ended up, man, just getting my brand into a number of shops nationwide and a number of shops outside of the USA, which was or a number of markets outside of the USA, which was just incredible. But either way, man, it was always just nip and tuck. It was always nip and tuck, and I can't lie about that.
Right, yeah, you were grinding. You had to grind.
Yeah,
I mean that was a grind. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So what happened in basically? I heard you had gotten a text in 2016 that really kind of.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, how about holding that segment on?
I can.
Well, let's take a break for our sponsors.
Absolutely.
And then come back and get into his second
Absolutely.
story. All right. Sean, can you hold on? We're just going to take a little commercial break here. All right. Take it away, Frank.
Cigar props started off as one item, a simple cigar rest born out of necessity. Over the years, cigar prop has morphed into something greater. Cigar prop is now a brand, a journey, a way of life. It has become known as prop style. That simple cigar rest has turned into a whole line of cigar accessories, apparel, and even a weekly live show called the I Tap That Cigar Show. So remember, make sure you give your cigars the props they deserve, but more importantly, remember to live prop style.
Johnny D. Teas out of Lakeville, Illinois are a veteran-owned company that take great pride in their work. Their goal is not to fulfill one order, but to earn all future orders by offering the best products at unbeatable prices. Ask any of their repeat customers and they'll tell you their quality is always the highest and their prices are always the lowest. Shop any Veterans Collection and 25% of the proceeds will be donated back to the veterans of foreign wars or the American Legion.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Specializing in tobacco pipe refurbishment and sales, Briar 911 buys and sells all kinds of pipes from a single pipe to entire collections. Our services include stem repair, replacement, deoxidation, and sanitization, reaming, cleaning, and bowl sanitizing, shank crack repair, buffing, and waxing. We make sure that each pipe is ready to smoke once it leaves our shop. For more info, contact us via Facebook at Briar 911.
And we're back. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you hanging in there. So Frank was going to lead on to the your next era. So go ahead, Frank. Take it away.
Absolutely. So in 2016, you get a text from someone. What happens to that text? And what was the text, actually?
So yeah, Rick Rodriguez, good buddy of mine. Yeah, so this is going into the holidays 2016. Got a text from Rick, just kind of checking in. How things going? Blah blah blah. Got time to get on a call tomorrow. I was like, yeah, sure. And we joked, or he joked that it'd be kind of cool if we could do a project together. But never thinking anything like this will really come to fruition. Especially being, he was with General Cigar, which, the largest, entity in the cigar business, kind of ivory tower, at least from the outside looking in.
Right.
But he hit me up, said, hey, let's go on the call. So the next day we talked and, just caught up in general, how's the family and so forth. And then he hit me with, kind of summarizing, like, what I think about Cohiba, my thoughts on Cohiba. I was like, well, it's Cohiba, like, it's Cohiba. He kind of it told me that there was some interest in me being a guy for Cohiba. I didn't know Cohiba needed a guy, but that's something I'd be willing to talk about. Not knowing at the time, like, what does that mean? Like, what happens to my brand? What's the timelines? Because at that point, I'd already secured space at the convention, at the show coming up that summer. Working on a new release, so there's a lot going on. So I knew that I'm interested in this if it's something that makes sense. But what does that mean for my brand? And also, how soon can this happen? Will this drag out? And if so, will that hamstring me doing other things with my brand? So there was a lot of sort of variables to sort of consider. But that started, and that led to a conference call with Gus Martinez, still call him boss. He was the VP marketing at the time that eventually hired me, and series of phone calls, and culminating with a cigar and a drink with Regis in Miami, and literally that's what it was. But because I hadn't talked to Regis at all along the way, and they had me go down for the Big Smoke 2017. and just to meet Regis. So I met him in the at the Fountain Blue, had a drink, had a cigar, and after that he got up, gave me a handshake, said, "Hey, you have a contract next week." So it
Nice.
went a lot faster than I would have imagined. Not fast enough for me to back out of the show. So literally at the first show,
You have your obligations.
Based on the wall, but on the other side of the floor, I had guys working my booth for my brand, which was kind of weird, but it is what it is, and I've never looked back since. So it's been amazing.
So how did you start blending? What was your first blend at basically at Cohiba?
First cigar I put my hands to at Cohiba was actually Silencio, which is my signature blend that we never sell. It's only available if I do an event and I'm present, or someone meets me and I give them one. So that was kind of the first cigar that I dabbled with, and that was I don't know how to explain it. It was kind of like it was a cool thing to do because it kind of was a representation of what I was known for historically as a cigar maker, which is Nicaraguan tobacco, and what Cohiba is known for, which is Cameroon, Pelota Cubano, and it's a great sort of blend of all those components. And then after that, we went to work on Spectre, and that was just a crazy project right there. Yeah. So it's been cool, man. Like coming into it, I kind of having your own small brand, like whatever you want to do, you just kind of do. However quirky or goofy or whatever, you just you're the guy, so you do what you want to do. Now you might it might shit the bed, it might not work. You have the leeway to do it. So that was kind of my biggest thing going in, are they really looking to be innovative? They really want to shake things up. Are they going to stifle me in a way? And then also, as big a consideration, or maybe a bigger consideration, will I screw the brand up, right? So it was a lot to sort of consider. But I mean, every metric that I sort of thought about, I've exceeded, whatever expectation I had, man. It really has been incredible.
Well, it's pretty much taking you around quite a bit as the ambassador. I mean, they're sending you all over the place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think did you have any involvement in the release of the very first Connecticut?
Of course.
Of course. That's why I would. That's why I would ask that. I might as well try to kind of lure you into that one, but
of course. That was actually, Spectre was the most fun, right? That was the most fun to do,
right?
But the Connecticut was so far the most the trickiest one that we've done, just because we had to sort of change gears after getting pretty far into the process and coming pretty close to the release date. But we had to change gears with the wrapper that we were using. And then it was just some pressure because there had never been a Cohiba Connecticut, right? And the Connecticut market is a crowded market. That's we're all smoking. You're smoking in the Nicaragua. I'm smoking Royale, full body cigars. We got the red dot there, Cameroon. And we're seasoned smokers.
Right.
And I would imagine, I work Connecticut's into my rotation. I imagine you guys maybe do too. But for the most part, you talk to seasoned cigar smokers, and I smell full body. Well, I'll tell you what, somebody's smoking Connecticut's, because Connecticut cigars,
they do sell.
They do.
There are some very good Connecticut's, that's for sure.
Yeah. So to enter that market, it's like, okay, well, what does Cohiba do in the Connecticut market? And I'm not going to name any brands, but there've been some very well-heeled brands who had really, really robust followings that released Connecticut's to pretty lackluster fanfare, right? So when we're going to take this walk, I'm like, okay, well, it's hard to make a Connecticut different. Let's be honest, right? Because a Connecticut has to be Connecticut in a sense. But how do we, give this a little bit more heft, a little bit more complexity, but still not be off-putting? So it wasn't the easiest thing to do. I mean, what we ended up with was a cigar that has 6 different leaves from 5 different countries, to include, San Andreas, Ligero from Jalapa Valley, Brazilian Mazapina. So there's a lot going on under the hood.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm a full body smoker. I mean, that's my thing. The stronger, the better. But as of late, I have noticed that there are some really excellent Connecticut's out there. As you said, they're definitely kicked up on the flavor.
More complex.
Yeah, they're adding whatever it is.
The special sauce, as most people like to call it, the special sauce.
But it's definitely happening. There's a whole area that's being opened up that wasn't available before.
Yeah, and it's done very well for cigars. Cigars done very well, and I smoke it a lot. It's typically my first cigar of the day. Not every day, but most days it's my first cigar of the day. And a lot of times I end the night with it as well. So I smoke it. It's not just there. I mean, I legit smoke that cigar a lot.
Well, it's a good wake up with a coffee cigar for sure. To get your day rolling. And I know a lot of people do smoke the Connecticut with their cigars and getting them their day going. And as they go a little bit further, they go to a medium, then they kind of full-bodied it at the end of the night. And, again, everybody's palate is so different. And a lot more women are now smoking cigars. And
but most of them don't want mild cigars. That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
You're right. You're right.
I see more guys smoking Tatianas than I see ladies.
We don't want to talk about those guys.
So, is there anything new that you could talk about for 2022 with Cohiba? Anything that you want to promote?
I'm not even going to get into 2022 yet. We got Spectres just starting to ship.
That's
C8 started shipping last week, which that's a frustrating cigar, frustrating project for most people. We made literally a few dozen boxes, primarily for duty free.
Wow!
Just the most over the top packaging, DuPont lighter and cutter, really special.
Wow, so, that sounds like a special cigar.
Oh, it is. It's a great. It's a great cigar. It's a great cigar. But it's you talking about a unicorn. I mean, like if you see somebody that has a box of those. Like I have a box and I opened it up, looked at them, threw a Boveda pack in them, and closed it back up.
There you go.
Okay.
Afraid to touch them.
Yeah, I'll smoke one for New Year's and whatever. And it's not like I'm not a guy that I wish I was better, honestly, at saving special cigars. But man, listen, cigars are made for burning.
There you go. Can't save them all. You got to go.
Now that we're friends, though,
now that we're on first name basis,
New Year's ain't that far away.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, you're our first Cohiba representative, so we got to talk off air how we can make that happen a little bit longer. See if we can get something done here with Cohiba.
I'm sure I can give you guys a line in on some goodies now.
Nice.
Very good. Well, do you mind if you hold on a little bit longer there? We're going to get another set of sponsors, and then we're going to go to our wonderful segment called Smoke the Chooch. Frank? Yeah, I think so. Take it away, Frank.
On a small...
Oops, wrong one. That's why this is a live show, so I could screw up. That's a Frankism. Number one.
Oh.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. RnA Treasures out of Tampa Bay, Florida. The last of a legacy. The last of an inventory of Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
Kristoff Cigars uses only the highest quality double and triple fermented tobaccos from around the world, which are then artfully blended. Whether you're looking for the smooth, mild, and full flavor of the Kristoff Connecticut, or the savory and full body found in the Pissed Off Kristoff, they have a cigar to satisfy the palate of the most discriminating aficionado. It all begins at the very first climate-controlled Rodriguez Olivan cigar factory located in the Dominican Republic. Our two major brands include Don Olivan, which are boutique cigars suited for that individual who takes great pride in something unique. BAMF is our armed forces cigars, designed for that badass mother effer. Not only are you smoking a great premium cigar, a percentage of the proceeds is donated to our heroic men and women in uniform.
And we're back. I just got to tell you, right? I was just going to say, look at that. We're smoking. It's been almost an hour. And it's a beautiful drawer. Beautiful.
About halfway down.
The construction is unbelievable. It really is, Sean. This
Glad
red
you did.
dot
We were just talking
is
about how the flavors have changed in this
Oh, absolutely.
from start to
You guys are
midpoint.
Yeah.
This is absolutely delicious.
Oh, on every level.
On the retro hail, how it has changed so much. I mean, the notes are really completely different from the beginning.
When I just took it out of the cellophane and just ran my nose over it, it had such a floral.
It had a floral note
to it.
But now it's completely different.
Oh, totally different.
Now
and that's the beauty of this. This has taken us on a journey, kind of like Sean has been taking us on a journey here.
So you guys hadn't had that cigar before?
No, I've never had this cigar before, actually. And I'm really impressed with it. I'm really impressed.
We said this is like one of those special cigars that you have for Christmas. Or,
it's definitely better than the White Owls I usually smoke. You know?
You can try the Great White Owls. That's the problem.
That's right.
The grape one. He even puts the grape one to shame.
What do you think? Better than the Dutch Master, too? I mean, come on, Bob. You know what he's hitting them up with. But you mentioned earlier, Sean, that David Blanco got you kind of into the industry. Our next segment is called Smoke the Chooch, which is basically a David Blanco number 9, which he calls the Chooch cigar himself.
That's where I learned that word. Me, David, my guy Joe Torres out of San Antonio, and Club Humidor in San Antonio. We were in Nicaragua together. I guess this was 2007 maybe. And that was just like, we were just like, you chooch.
But now you know what a chooch is.
And Dave and I, we don't have as much chance to interact and talk as much, but Joe and I mean, because I go do events at Club Humidor and whatever, so we affectionately still refer to each other as chooches. So
there you go.
So I'm interested in this segment.
By the way, Brad Berger wants to say hello to you. I think you remember Brad.
Yeah,
Brad.
Brad
He's on, and he just wants to say hello.
What's going on, Brad? How you doing, man?
There you
Out
go.
in,
There you
out
go.
in the Phoenix area, my man.
Yes, he is. Good man. Good man indeed.
Oh, and actually, Karen Berger is on.
Hi,
Hey,
Karen.
Hi,
Karen.
Karen. How are you? Much love to Karen.
Love her. Yeah.
She's a busy woman.
Oh, she sure
Boy,
is.
boy, where is Karen tonight?
I know. It's
the
kind of like
question.
where's Waldo? It's where's Karen because she's
Oh,
she's on the road all the time too.
She's
Was
another
it
one.
Carmen
Wow.
Santiago? Is that the one who's traveling all over the place too?
No, it's Karen.
It's Karen Santiago.
Yeah, exactly. Ever since she teamed up with Bruce, the girl just lives on the road, man. He's got her all over the place. But why? Her cigars are fantastic. Don Kiki and K-Line is just absolutely a
They're happening.
fantastic.
They're really
It's
happening
a must
all
in
over now.
everybody's humidor, and it's a must in everybody's brick and mortar and cigar lounge because they are fantastic smokes indeed.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we're going
So,
now.
are we ready?
Well, I think we're ready
let's
for
go
the-
for it.
Yeah, let's
All right,
go,
we're gonna go to obviously first of all, Ron.
Is that the giveaway tonight?
This is going to be the giveaway tonight.
Oh boy,
We're
look at that! You
going
get
to-
your own Chooch T-shirt.
Wow, don't be a chooch, smoke the chooch.
Wow.
So,
Wow,
you
wow.
know, hey, this show holds nothing back when it comes to swag. We just throw things out at you. You never know what's coming, especially during the chooch segment. So,
And by the way, Sean, Karen's saying hello to you too.
Hey, darling, how you doing?
so obviously, it's time to play Smoke the
Let's
Chooch.
go for it.
Usually, Kyle will do my intro music, which is the Chooch's mating call, which is or whatever that is.
I'm
Wow.
give me a few minutes. Let me
What
see
was
I can-
that?
I don't know. Did
What
that
the
sound
hell
like
was
a
that?
That was a turkey, wasn't it? A turkey.
Oh, well, maybe it's a part turkey, part chooch. That's why I don't use the sound
It's like
effects.
turkey.
That's the turkey. Yeah. Thanks, Sean. You're helping me out on this segment. I need all the help I can get.
Man.
Unbelievable. I'm looking for a chooch. I'm looking for a chooch button here anyway.
Don't worry
guys.
about it. Forget about the chooch button, Ron. We're going to go to our infamous chooch segment. And the first question is going to be a little trivia on Thanksgiving, since Thanksgiving is, only a week away.
Can't
So,
believe it. It's unbelievable, right?
you know, might as well throw out a little, question on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, why
so,
not? Why not?
Usually, what Thursday of the month is Thanksgiving? What Thursday of the month,
The
guys?
Third.
You guys, I knew. See why we call them the Chooches? It's not the third.
Not the
It's-
third.
It's the fourth Thursday of the month is Thanksgiving. It's the
Oh,
fourth.
20 oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
It's
All
the
right.
fourth.
Well,
Wow.
if we
Thursday
said
of the month.
last, would that help?
Well, no, it wouldn't help because it's
Oh,
either,
okay.
you said third, so you didn't
Yeah,
get
but
it.
if we
You
said
guys are
last,
Chooches.
would that help?
No, it still doesn't give me the answer. It's the fourth.
Sorry, Tim, you lost. Go ahead.
But an interesting thing that actually in 1939 it was changed to the third.
Oh, so we were
Thursday.
right. We were right.
Yeah, for 3
In
years.
1939, we were right.
But you know what happened? That was actually President Roosevelt who changed it, and there was an outcry from college football coaches because now they had to change their schedules, and it screwed everything up. And he thought he was doing something good for the economy, giving an extra week for the
So-
holidays.
Our last game of the season, which is the biggest game, our biggest rivalry, the Bayou
Mhm.
Classic, played in New Orleans in the Superdome. It was always the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
There you
Ah.
go.
That weekend.
Thanksgiving
All right.
Day, nobody's on campus. It's just us and the band, 2-a-day practices, getting ready for Bayou Classic.
Nice.
And
And
the
then
cheerleaders. Don't forget the cheerleaders.
They weren't there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
did you guys have some? Did you guys have at least a big meal? A big meal?
Oh yeah.
All right.
But you
There
need
we
it because
go.
you had two practices that day.
Yeah.
so you had 2 meals.
2 meals. Well, that is Thanksgiving. That is Thanksgiving.
That's funny. I didn't know that. That's an interesting piece of trivia.
Yeah, that's why they call me the historian here.
Historian.
No, we call him the
Whoa.
real Chooch, to be honest with
We
you.
call him a lot of names, but we never called him that one.
Sean, don't let them steer you wrong. Don't worry. I'll give you another little tidbit, another little Thanksgiving tidbit. Here you go. In 1953, a Swanson employee accidentally ordered a colossal shipment of Thanksgiving turkeys, 260 tons. So a salesman there, Jerry Thomas,
I know the answer to this.
took some inspiration from that, and he saw what they did in airplanes, and he decided that he was going to package this into foil with other little givings, other little nice little things in the tray, like gravy, peas, sweet potatoes. TV dinners were born.
I think we all saw that documentary.
TV dinners were born.
Maybe it was done.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
yeah.
the timelines, it makes sense. The 50s, that's when TV dinners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, and here's a good one for you. I don't think anybody's going to get this one.
All right.
The hashtag symbol. Does anyone know what it's called?
I still don't know what it is.
Bob never uses it, so he doesn't understand what a hashtag is. But
Pound.
it's but it's called something else. It has a proper definition.
The pound
And
sign.
It is actually called the octothorpe. The octothorpe.
Really?
Yes.
Where the hell did that come from?
Well, thanks for asking, Bob. That's why we're here. I mean, where did that come from? So the octothorpe actually means octo means 8. So you have 8 points on that. So there's 8. Thorpe. People are like, Thorpe, what does that mean? Thorpe actually is said to possibly come from the English meaning for village. So if you imagine the little center box is the village surrounded by fields, surrounded by, the external fields. So that's how it's the field.
That's very interesting.
The village within the
okay.
fields. So octothorpe.
Wow.
Something for you guys. See, now
That's
you guys
very interesting.
learned a little something here. Not bad.
Unbelievable. We did. Just a
You
little.
know, just a little,
Yeah.
And obviously the comments are rolling through here.
Wow.
Yes. Hey, what do you mean it sounds like Iranianism? Hey, Kafie. Oh, give me a break. I can't even say that word if you ask me. But Tracy Bruce did say it. Very good, Tracy.
Tracy
Oh,
Bruce,
Tracy,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, octothorpe. I knew
Tracy. I just hit the comment section so I could see what people are saying. So
Yeah. Oh, you've been missing out on all those great comments and all the name calling that they've been doing.
There's a lot of nice things saying about you too, just to let you know.
Let's go back and watch it again.
A little hour of your time to catch up with everybody. That's all. You can say hello to them first.
That was a very interesting one.
You like that one?
Yeah,
I always
I
come
did.
up with some good ones.
That was good.
So here's another good one.
Right. One more for us, and then the crowd.
One more for you, and then the crowd. I'll give you this one. I don't know if you'll get this either, but hey. What is the speed of a computer mouse? What is it measured by? The speed of a computer mouse.
How fast you can move your
I'm
wrist.
going to wait for somebody to type
The speed of a
Let's see
computer mouse.
How
This
wow.
is
type it in. We'll give you an answer in a second.
That's a tough one. You got to think of, but it was actually a British scientist who first invented the roller ball device in 1946.
Really?
While working for the Royal Navy.
The Mickey.
And actually, listen to that, Ron. You actually, by mistake, it's actually called Mickey's.
Wow.
That's the speed. It's called Mickey's.
A Mickey.
So the mouse was termed.
I don't know Mickey Finn.
Mickey's mouse speed.
Wow.
So there you go. You learn something new every day. When I read that, I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting.
That is very interesting.
So you measure mouse speed by Mickey's.
Rollerball, isn't that what they have in the Big
Mickey's
Ten, the rollerball?
What about minis? Are minis in there too?
Minis are for you, Ronnie. You're kind of a mini. Only your shirt size. Your shirt size says otherwise. Maxi.
I'm gonna give you credit, Maxi. Oh, Sean, they killed me. I love it. It's blood. It's blood. It's terrible. But thank you, Trace, for helping me out. Anyway, for the win, folks.
This is for the audience now. For the audience to win the special Smoke the Chooch.
Yeah,
T-shirt.
that's right.
All right,
That's
there
right.
we go.
It's out there. So let me go up and I'm going to.
And there's only one size, 4X. That's all we have.
That was it. Yeah. So you could either use it.
Nobody wins. I can wear it every day, right, Bob?
You could use it for pajamas. You could use it. You could use it as a dish rag. You could use it for whatever you'd
Cover
like.
your bushes out front in the winter. You know, whatever you want.
Whatever.
Wow. All right. This is for the audience.
This is for the audience. So here's the question. Remember, first one to answer wins the chooch. There's only one NFL team that has a plant for a logo.
Ooh.
Only one NFL team has a plant for the logo. Let's see who gets this one.
I bet you Timmy does.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow, nobody.
Oh, wait, Dave Lonick. Dave. Dave says
Yes.
the Saints.
Saints.
Could it be the Saints? Let's see.
The Fleur de Lis.
The Fleur de Lis, the New Orleans Saints.
There you go.
Dave wins it.
That's
Dave,
no,
we'll wait
that's-
to see you again.
I don't know.
What?
Uh-oh.
We might have a little
Wait,
bit.
we might have to change the
It is
story here.
Fleur de Lis is a lily. It is a
Controversy.
lily. It is a lily. I will go.
I never knew that.
Yes.
Oh.
And you're
And
a
if I-
Louisianian person.
It was called the flower of life. I thought it was like like in with Louis Tress cognac, they call the juice the eau de vie, the water of life, but it's not like, it's water, so interesting. Did not know that.
All right. Well, Bruce, no, Dave actually won. And he said, being that he bought a shirt from me on Saturday, he said, give it to the next person. So the next person is Tracy Bruce.
Tracy, of course.
So Tracy Bruce again.
Tracy
has been a big winner here.
Yes. You know what, Tracy? You're banned for the next year.
Well, she's banned.
You're winning too much. At least until the end of this year.
No,
good for you, Tracy.
That's
good
great.
for you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Tracy, just let me know what size. I got a medium and a large. And I know it's not going to be an extra large.
You have some contentious comments going on though. Some people.
As you notice that
you can read them out loud if you want.
Brad Berko says I answered first. Not on my. Not on.
Where's Brad? Hold on. Let's see. Let's double check. Hold on. I'm.
That is not a freaking plant leaf.
Brad,
let's go to the videotape.
Dave, Tracy, and Brad. Then Jose. Wait a minute. Where's Tracy Bruce? No, yeah, Tracy. Yep. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry. She answered right before you, so you are a loser tonight. Tracy, you are the winner.
Tracy gets it. That's it.
Sean, what do you think of that? We just tell it the way it is.
Somebody has to be the truth, right?
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Oh, wow, great. Well, Sean, we really want to thank you very much for taking time. I know you were pretty busy before that, but again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your story. And
have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes, have a very happy
Thanksgiving.
Merry Thanksgiving.
Merry Thanksgiving.
Ronnie would say that.
Merry Thanksgiving.
Merry Thanksgiving.
And
Don't put words
happy
in my mouth, son. Don't put words in my mouth. Wow. Thank God you're my cousin. But honestly, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sean. We appreciate your time, buddy.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Great. And I hope we can talk a little further about Cohiba in the Great Smoke Show here in the future.
Absolutely.
All right. Anyway, folks, thank you very much. Hope you had a great time. Another segment of the Great Lakes Smoke Show. From all of us to all of you, we'll see you next Tuesday. Keep them lit, folks. Have a great night.
And light them up.
And light them up. And light
them up.
Exactly. Bye-bye,
all righty.
folks.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Sean, take care.
Take care, guys. Cheers.
So
Show you what it is to live free. Perdomo Taj Mahal here. You know?
It really is.
They're stopping by. Oh, I heard about you. I smoke your cigars. I love it.
That's the short story behind how Kristoff got started. It's actually named after our son, Christopher.
We're infamous for our packaging. Everybody knows Gurkha's got the best packaging, the most beautiful labels.
All your listeners out there, thank you. Be careful, be safe, and God bless you.
Long ashes and slow burns, my friend.
There you go.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but I sure it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful.